Good evening, welcome back to Interesting Talks with Footprints. I hope you had a good day, even though it's an extremely cold day out there today. And your glass is half full rather than half empty. Last week I did a short talk on confirmation bias. It really got people talking and thinking about it and asking for a more in-depth explanation. So here we are, a more detailed talk on what confirmation bias is and how we can stop ourselves from being in the traps of it. Do like, share and leave comments as you see fit. So what is confirmation bias? Because not everybody got to hear what it is, for example. So people prone to believe what they want to believe. Doesn't matter what else everybody else is saying, whatever evidence there is, they don't care. They just want to believe in whatever they believe in, no matter what. Now when people would like a certain idea, concept to be true, they end up believing in it to be true. This is confirmation bias. Confirmation bias can be found in anxious individuals who view the world as dangerous. Wishful thinking or false optimism can lead to confirmation bias also. Overcoming confirmation bias begins with setting one's hypothesis, what you believe in, while also looking for instances to prove it wrong. So that means you've got an idea and you're still trying to prove your own idea wrong. Once it's gone through that litmus test, you might be right. Imagine that you've tried to reach a friend with whom you have an ambivalent relationship. By phone, by email, leaving messages, yet receiving no call in return. In a situation like this, it's easy to just jump to the conclusion that it's that friend doesn't want to be around you. They don't want to hear from you. Now the danger of this is, of course, is that if you leave this belief to fester unchecked and start to act if it was true, leads to problems in your friendship because it might not be the case. So confirmation bias occurs with direct influence of desires and beliefs. When people would like a certain idea or concept to be true, they end up believing it to be true. They are motivated by wishful thinking. This error leads to the individual to stop gathering information when the evidence gathered so far confirms the views of or their prejudices that they would like to be true. Once we have formed a view, we embrace the information that confirms that view while ignoring or rejecting information that casts doubt on it. Confirmation bias suggests that we don't perceive circumstances objectively. We pick out those bits of data that make us feel good because they confirm our prejudices. Thus, we may become prisoners of our own assumptions. For example, some people will have a very strong inclination to dismiss any claims that marijuana may cause harm as nothing more than old-fashioned reefer madness. Some social conservatives will downplay any evidence that marijuana does not cause harm. Confirmation bias, anxiety, and self-deception. Confirmation bias can also be found in anxious individuals who view the world as a dangerous place. For example, a person with low self-esteem is highly sensitive to being ignored by other people, and they constantly monitor for signs that people don't like them. Thus, if they are worried that someone is annoyed with you or with them, they are biased on all the negative information that they can find about that person and act towards them in that way. They can interpret the behaviour of individuals as something negative. Wishful thinking is a form of self-deception, such as false optimism. For example, we often deceive ourselves, such as stating that just one. It's not that flattering. I'll stop smoking tomorrow. Or when someone is under the influence, they feel confident that they can drive safely even after 5 or more drinks. Self-deception can be like a drug, numbing you from the harsh reality or turning a blind eye to the tough matter of gathering evidence and thinking. In some cases, self-deception is good for us For example, when dealing with certain illnesses, positively thinking can actually be beneficial for such diseases as cancer, but not diabetes or ulcers. There is a limited evidence that believing that you will recover helps reduce your level of stress hormones, giving the immune system and modern medicine and old medicine a better chance to do their work. In sum, people are prone to believe that what they want to believe. Seeking to confirm our beliefs comes naturally. While it feels strong and counterintuitive to look for evidence that contradicts our beliefs. This explains why opinions survive and spread. Disconfirming instances are far more powerful in establishing the truth. Would you require looking for evidence to disprove things that you think are true that will help you to fight confirmation bias? How to minimize confirmation bias? The take-home lesson is to set your hypothesis, what you believe in, and look for instances that prove you wrong. This is perhaps a true definition of self-confidence, the ability to look at the world without the need to look for instances that please your ego. Group decision making is crucial to obtain information from each member in a way that they are independent. For example, as part of police procedure, they derive the most reliable information from multiple witnesses to a crime. Witnesses are not allowed to discuss it prior to giving their testimony. The goal is to prevent unbiased witnesses from influencing each other. It is known as the Abraham Lincoln intentionally filled his cabinet with rival politicians who had extremely different ideologies. So when making decisions, Lincoln was always encouraged vigorous debate and discussion. I've tried to bring as many points to this subject that I can do in an interesting talk. I hope that you've found it helpful. We all like to believe we are right. There's nothing wrong with that in principle. But when we look at what we believe to be so, let's put it to the test of seriously looking at why we are wrong. And then we will have a better balance to find out whether we are right or wrong. And then we'll have better decision making, better thoughts, and we're more likely to be happier and have a fulfilled life. Sounds good to me. So until 2 weeks' time, take care of yourselves. Do share this if you like it. Bye for now.